We're in the Four Corners region of America. We've split up to cover all 4 states. Ranae's exploring the rivers of Utah, Bobo's investigated the property where he had his best Bigfoot sighting ever, Cliff's exploring the desert of Arizona, and I'm on a solo investigation along the New Mexico portion of the San Juan River, where something threw rocks at us during our first night investigation. And it's sounding like they're still around because I just heard a big splash in the water next to me.
Ooh, and there's a splash in the water on the other side.
It's definitely getting closer.
And I want to grab that therm, so I'm going to take a gander with this and just have a little peek.
So I haven't seen anything on the therm, and I'm thinking that squatch is probably over on the other side, and it's pulled back in the brush. Well, that brush over there is super thick. I needed to come out to the edge of that brush so I can see it with my thermal imager. So I'm gonna change up my strategy a bit. I'm gonna make myself smaller, get down toward the edge of the river, and I'm gonna talk out loud like I'm doing right now. It'll think I'm just hanging here instead of looking for it.
New Mexico really is the land of enchantment because I'm pretty enchanted right now because there's a Sasquatch over on the other side that's occasionally throwing rocks in. Oh yeah. Something just went in the water right over there. And I could hear it moving around right on the edge of the water. Damn. And now I'm a little nervous. And I shouldn't be because I know they won't hurt you, but when you got an animal moving around and you know it's a Sasquatch and it's 50 feet away from us, right? You know, I usually don't get a little nervous, but I can hear something big that just moved into the water, either in or out of it, less than 50 feet away from me. I can't tell whether it got in the water or it got out of the water. So it may still be on this side or it may have moved to go across to the other side. And I just heard another sound over there, and I think I'm gonna take a peek. I'm gonna look across to see if I can see any heat signatures, either on the ground or in the tree. And I'm not seeing anything.
Again, nothing on the therm, and that's what is endlessly frustrating about going after Sasquatches. They are very intelligent, and if they don't want to be seen or lit up by a spotlight, then they're not gonna be seen, especially when they have the advantage of terrain, like they do here, where there's such thick brush down by this riverbed. I'm not gonna give up, though. I'm gonna keep laying low and looking around, and hopefully this Sasquatch will have a change of heart and maybe want to come take a look at me. I stayed out here all night long, next to the river, not far from Brenda's property, and I kept hearing what sounded like rocks being thrown into the water. And yeah, I didn't see any Sasquatches on therm, but I do think this is the best spot for us. So I'm gonna suggest that we reconvene and all meet here for our final night investigation.
Hey.
Hey, Cliff.
Hey, Ranae, I got Matt on the line, too.
Okay, what have you all gotten in your respective states?
Okay, well, you know, I met up with Leonard here in Utah. He introduced me to Claudia. She is a Navajo that's been having ongoing activity on her family property, and she was gracious enough to take me out for a night investigation, but unfortunately, it has been quiet here. You guys having any better luck?
I went and hung out with Johnny and Carol. Stuff's been going on there the entire time we've been gone. So we did a night investigation, but came up with nothing. But I didn't give up. From there, I went up the canyons and into the Chuscas and still came up with nothing. The habitat was great, but nobody was home.
How about you, Bobo?
I went and met up with George, that spot where he got the video. That was a baby Bigfoot, but it had been so overgrown you couldn't tell what was going on there. We did an overnight investigation. It was completely dead. So the next day I went down to visit Hoyt Velarde down on the Hickory Apache Reservation in New Mexico. I know I'm supposed to stay in Colorado, but I had to go back where I had my best sighting. Talked to Hoyt. Of course, there's a lot of stuff going on in the general area.
So you went rogue and headed to New Mexico?
Hey, that's my state.
I don't follow the rules, babe.
Hey, well, listen, my overnight with Randy was a bust. We didn't find anything but some sheep. But on my camping trip last night, I was right back up at where Brenda took us that first night, and we got action. And man, not long after I got there, rocks started going in the water.
So they are there. They're there every time. And
I think that's where we should go.
Yeah, absolutely. Our first night was great. If we don't go back there, we'd be nuts.
Yeah, well, I never wanted to leave New Mexico in the first place. I'm totally down for going back to Brenda's.
Well, we're all in agreement then. That sounds great, and I'll meet you guys at Brenda's property.
Very good. I've gotten action near Brenda's property twice now, so I'm thinking this may be one of the most reliable places anywhere in the area.
Told you. Told you.
That
I knew it.
was something.
Yeah, I haven't got a Sasquatch on therm, but I'm thinking that maybe because the brush by the river here is so thick. So what I'm thinking now is we need to get a bird's eye view of this area in the daytime and then maybe lure one out into the open at that point. I've put together an elaborate plan, and I'm hoping to get the rest of the team on board because this is going to be a 4-person mission.
hey,
What's going on?
Haven't seen you guys in days. You've all grown.
Okay, I think what we should do here is do a day investigation that goes into the night. I think we gotta have eyes on that river on the edge and then have eyes above that river, like with the drone.
Yeah, cool. I've got it in the back.
Perfect. So we'll send up the drone over the river to look in that thicket. I'll be right nearby listening for it to get in the water. And Ranae will have you drive down the road, and that's apparently what triggers it to go in the river and get on the other side.
This is gonna be good. It's like 2 prongs. We have a daytime approach, and then when night falls, we just go Bigfooting as normal and see what we can get.
Absolutely.
The team level of excitement's at an all-time high right now because we think this is one of our best chances to actually catch a Squatch on therm. If we can get one of those climbing out of the river, game changer. We'd have it right there, proof.
Well, that's a good plan. It's one of the best ones we've had in a long time. Let's get ourselves to our
Let's
positions.
gear it up and walk in.
That's a pretty gnarly storm coming this way.
Yeah.
Ranae, do you hear me?
All right, loud and clear, Matt.
Okay, Bobo and Cliff, are you ready?
I got you, Matt.
Send the drone.
Hey, come on in.
Getting closer. We're almost over the thicket.
I see Renee's headlights.
Getting closer. Oh, jeez!
The wind's just howling.
The wind just took off, man.
Look at this. This is insane. Matt, the wind just went crazy. We can't even control the chopper.
Well, then bring it back to you. It's blowing across the island.
We're trying. The wind's too strong.
Losing control. Holy smoke.
Dude, I think it just went in the river.
It's dead for sure.
Moneymaker.
Yeah.
That drone is long gone. Sayonara.
Oh, man.
This is so typical of squatching. As soon as you get some action going, something malfunctions. In this case, as soon as we launch that drone, within seconds, boom, huge gusts of wind. We may have lost our aero view, but that was only one part of our strategy. Regardless, we're still in the best spot in all of the 4 corners.